For me personally, Shinkenger is kind of in this weird camp of Sentai that I enjoyed watching, but don't really have any strong feelings toward. It's the same with the currently airing Gozyuger.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
The world of Sentai anniversaries seem to follow two main camps. You have the fucking Gokaiger elitists that never shut up about how it's the best Sentai, and then you have, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Did they even bother trying? Toei's recently ended #1 Sentai Gozyuger is terrible, okay? The plot this time is a battle royale set out by a giant fucking robot, using Sentai rings, and they all have to fight, and then whoever wins gets, like, a wish granted. There's really not much to this, I'll be real. Okay, so maybe Gozyuger makes up in the lack of plot with its amazing, in-depth, and fluid characters. No, actually, it doesn't. In fact, it probably does the opposite. Its characters are really shallow and can all be boiled down to one singular trait. They just didn't really know how to write Rikuo in my eyes. Like, his relationship with Bouquet is meant to be social commentary on, like, parasocial relationships, but, that doesn't really work when he's the one simping over an AI. And I hate the fact that they catfished us in Sumino's introduction episode by making it seem like he was the one who kidnapped Otto, and then they do nothing with a red herring. Ryugi doesn't get a focus episode until episode 13. Then he goes on a spiritual journey which lasts one entire episode. That's how worthless he is. Sumino obviously is probably the most interesting character, but not actually in the show. Everything that makes it interesting happened outside of the show because you got into so much drama. Aside from that, I literally do not care about her character. At all, actually. Like, seriously, why does she act all rich and stuck up? Like, can we have a reason, please? And naturally, she is the girl of the team. And because Toei are a bunch of fucking idiots, she's naturally going to get less development than everyone else. This man right here is the only thing that actually makes this show even remotely watchable, if we're being completely real. His story is great, his wish is great, I love it. Honestly, why isn't there more of Kinjiro in the actual show? Honestly, it's almost like the writers forgot about him, and a certain other White Ranger. I'm fairly certain Machiro gave me AIDS or something, because I haven't been the same since this guy showed up in Gozyuger. He's meant to be like a god who reset the world in the previous ring battle, but don't worry if you forgot about that aspect of his character, because the writers also entirely forgot. Now, let's be completely honest with ourselves here. The lack of effort actually seen in this show is probably the worst part about it. You actually have kind of got to wonder who at Toei thought that this would be acceptable, because I'm not even lying, I'm genuinely kind of offended that somebody constructed a show this lazily put together. You know, the whole point of a battle royale, Toei, is that I'm not supposed to know who wins from the get-go. But, like, you know, the minute you give Hoyoru both the Lupin Ranger and the Pat Ranger rings, whilst he spends most of the episode under mind control, is a pretty dead giveaway that you're gonna make him win the fucking ring battle. I mean, the show forgets, the Battle Royale show forgets that it's a Battle Royale until the last 5 or so episodes. And no, the fact that everybody on production knew that this was going to be the last Sentai is not an excuse as to why this show is so half-baked. In fact, if anything, it makes it even less acceptable, because surely someone at Toei would have brought up the idea that they needed to put in 100% of their effort before Sentai goes off the air for nearly 10 years. The thing is Gozyuger relies heavily on subplots. that don't work because there's no main story. You know, I've dabbled a little bit in writing, especially when I was younger, because I wanted to become an author of all things. And typically, one of the first things you learn is that everything should have a main plot, and then the characters should have a side plot that then somewhere along the lines gets resolved, that then will somehow link back to the overall main plot. You can move the characters and the main plot forward. So somebody please tell me, how does Gozyuger manage to move neither whilst trying to move just one? How does that happen? Oh wait, it's because they off-screened all the Universe Warriors. Yeah, so what I can only imagine is probably a move to budget the show, because Sentai's on like a paper-thin budget. It always has been. They off-screen a majority of the Universe Warriors. In fact, by episode 28, there was only 2 Universe Warriors left from the Showa era. 2! And then 3 weeks later, they both got off-screened. Those being Dynaman and Changeman, for anyone wondering. And let's be completely honest here, the writers clearly just forgot that those shows existed, hence why they hadn't been off-screen prior. Speaking of Universe Warriors, Natsume. Do you guys remember Natsume? Because the writers sure as hell didn't. Look, I'm fully aware that the reason this guy didn't come back earlier is because his actor was busy with doing the Boom Boom Just stage show. But, look, here's the thing. Why would production not just film all of his scenes together? Seriously, did no one think to do this? Did no one even bring up the possibility that he might not be available in the future? Why would they not just record his first and his last scene in one go? I mean, fucking hell, his scenes were so obviously recorded almost directly after a Boom Boonger episode. Like, probably around episode 30 or something, if I had to make a guess, given Toei's scheduling. Like, seriously, did they not think to get him and Hoyoru's actor in a room and just for a full day have them shoot scenes? Sure, they'd have to film all of the fights later on, but come on, like, it must have been in the plot somewhere. I mean, they set it up, for crying out loud. Unless, of course, that is, they didn't actually have a plan for Natsume and he was just a mere concept and they were making everything up as they went along. I mean, come on, these two are young, but, I mean, they've got experience. One of them is Toshiki Inoue's fucking daughter, and the other one produced Don Brothers. They surely know better than that. Nope, never mind. I'm done. I'm so glad, I'm so done with this fucking show, bro. I actually can't. They just made everything up as they went along. Yeah, by the way, it gets better because they didn't even decide who the final boss was until a quarter of the way through. What? At least it had good music. I'll be seeing Gozyuger in my nightmares, guys. This is like one of my least favorite Sentai ever. I wouldn't go as far as to say it is my least favorite, but it's up there. Holy shit. Anyway, thank you all for watching my rant on Gozyuger. I probably caught some disease from having to talk about number 1 Sentai Gozyuger. I'm nearly done with Phase 2 Kamen Rider, so my massive ranking video will be out sometime in the next few months. So please, 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 just please keep watching. Okay, I will actually make a good video one day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to apply for a job at Toei because I seem just as qualified as the actual writers for number 1 Sentai Gozyuger.